Welcome to the Big Brother Specialist. We are here talking the HOH episode, otherwise known as the Sunday episode of this
Yes,
season of Big Brother.
otherwise known as the non-live, non in your face. Like it was interesting though. Still, of like it doesn't seem like there's anywhere to hide anymore,
Mhm.
especially after the um whole after the episode is done. There's really no room to hide. A little bit of foreshadowing, but it was interesting to see. I guess not. I don't know if the word's interesting. It's like, hey, everyone talk about what happened. Like the whole first part of the episode was like 12 minutes, not 12, probably like 8 minutes of everyone being like, oh, I was blindsided, or I felt about this, or Quinn was like, America, you hate me? What the heck? And like he was like, okay,
Mhm.
all that's kind of implied and whatever. Like I'm ready to get to this HOH, but it's setting up like a battle of it's gonna be Quinn versus Tucker, and they're not gonna stop until anyone's done. And then everyone else is just gonna literally watch as it happens. Because literally nobody else should win HOH besides Tucker, somebody that's on Tucker's side, or Quinn, because Quinn is just gonna take it over anyway. And so like I'm sure Quinn was like, I should throw this, and that's probably why he does use the strategy that he explains later of like, I'm just gonna push a button as fast as possible.
Mm. So I hated the beginning of this episode because it's like without you knowing the live feeds, I wouldn't have known that Tucker was the target until now. Nobody in the other episodes made it seem like Tucker was the actual target. Cedric was saying he was a pawn to win the competition so someone else can go home. And then all of a sudden, this episode, Tucker's the target. And I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah,
Like,
that's not.
why aren't we being shown these things that I guess only live feeders know when some of us casuals who are watching the show as it airs are like, all right, this is interesting. Tucker has people like on his side or against him, and I didn't know any of this.
I did not know any of this, and like I think that's something where you're like, okay, well now who do I root for during the knockout HOH? And
Mhm.
knockout is one of the best parts about Big Brother, in my opinion, because it is kind of like it's going to be 10 people nominating people immediately, and like you could do the whole like, oh, you guys were both wearing a blue shirt, I just got mixed. But it's like you should be putting up your least favorite person and maybe their ally, or
Mhm.
look who's left and go, I think I'm fine with those people. Okay, I'll put you two up. Sometimes you even say the word nominate and they're like, oh shit, was that a
Mhm.
whatchamacallit? And this, I think, this competition, there's two things I really want to talk about it of like, Angela killed it. And then Brooklyn shows the bad part of the game of what Brooklyn is playing. And these are my least favorite people because it's so funny of like me kind of like Brooklyn's doing a good job and is playing the dominant Big Brother game, but it's the all-star student in her of I want to get 100%, 100% of the time. And
Mhm.
somebody's not going to like you. Somebody's going to go, actually, your test this week has a 97 on it. And Brooklyn's like, what happened, Angela? Those 3 points, I studied hard enough and I did everything right. Why do I not have 100? And it's just like, no, like I'm putting, I picked you, you picked me back. I'm picking you again. There's literally nothing wrong with that scenario. There's no targeting or anything. I picked two people out of a random thing. You put me as a I hope you lose, and then I'm just gonna do that to you guys. Like, and that whole talk afterwards, I was kind of like, not that this talk is pointless, but like I hate, not I hate and love to hate the times where two people are arguing on a reality show where it's like clearly one person forgot the acts of the rules of engagement, and like I'm not supposed to help you win $750,000,
Mhm.
Brooklyn. And like, this is the first negative thing that's happened to you in 3 weeks. She literally, I think, said to her, like, I've been nominated twice. Like,
Yeah.
I have to win HOA. What are you talking about? Like,
Mhm.
absolutely get out of my face. And there was the like, is this going to be whatever? And like, it's like, okay, now I can root against Brooklyn because she is not somebody who's going to be like, her trying to play integrity makes her less integrity in my mind.
I think knockout was put too early, unless they do it again, which great, but I think it was put a little bit too early because, like, the only bad things that we had were Brooklyn going back to back and Cam saying Tucker twice. So, like, there wasn't enough drama with the picks for me, I feel, like, some people get thrown back to back to back until they lose, or it's like you're putting up
And
an
that was
ally,
Angela.
or and it's like, it's it's annoying that it was so early on that we don't have a lot more dynamics and interpersonal, like, "Ooh, if I put them up, will they be mad?"
Right. And like, Angela would have had one of those interviews if she had lost it all. Of like, I got put up, I think, 4 separate times. And like, that's just the nature of the beast of, because I'm winning so much, I'm going to be going up. The competition was kind of weird of like, they have shoes for feet. There was an extra hand here. The
Mhm.
cow, you forgot to look at the cow.
Yeah,
Um,
the AI images were, like, distorted and not, like, actual
like
reality or something
like
like
on
that.
Big Brother 17, it was like which emoji is correct or not. So it's like, what am I complaining about? Like, it's always dumb and stupid, and you'll forget about it in 2 weeks. But like, I thought it was funny that, how is Angela good at this? And like, they didn't have any interviews with anybody of like, I'm glad Angela's making herself a target. Like, it felt like
Mhm,
pretty much everyone was trying to win HOH. And the thing that bothered me about this episode of like, we're really gonna believe Quinn. Like, multiple people were saying, I believe Quinn, of like, why would he not use his power? Like, he's going to use his power no matter what.
yeah.
You falling into the like, I truly believe Quinn out of the bottom of his heart would let someone do it. It was never gonna happen. It was also kind of gross that Quinn was like, Angela doesn't know. Like, I told her about it 3 weeks ago and she didn't remember a thing. And you're just like, are you now that you know America doesn't like you or isn't quite on your side, are you gonna go like full on dastardly Doolittle, or that's not even the right dude, dastardly dastard guy? Or are you gonna like, oh, can you be normal and just play as normal? Or now you're gonna
Mhm.
be like, well, America hates me, I might as well just turn it on for the rest of the game and get
Oh my
second
god.
place because they always hate villains.
I Anytime Quinn is in confessional, I hate it. He's screaming at me and he's, like, way too animated, and I just can't with Quinn anymore. I am with America. I dislike him.
Whoa. Looks like the editor's hit job worked, as
It
you
did.
being one of Quinn's best fans. Yeah, I hope you don't see him at your Survivor luncheon, and then you gotta talk to him and be like, I actually thought you did quite a good job.
No, I'll be like, "I
Surprise.
hope you're better than what you were on Big Brother, 'cause I."
Wow. What the weirdest tweet I saw recently was like, clearly I it was somebody who usually does Survivor stuff,
He's
and
overstimulated, I want him to lie down with a weighted
this
blanket.
is kind of going in line with this of somebody that usually tweets about Survivor stuff was like, I don't even watch Big Brother, but seeing all your complaints, this guy must be neurodivergent. And I watched for 1 second and he was, and you just hate neurodivergent people. And I was like, whoo, okay.
Well, as
Whoo,
someone
whoo.
who is also neurodivergent, I think
Is
I can.
divergent, not neurotically.
Um, so we have, that conversation between Angela and Brooklyn, then the Pentagon saying that they're going to use the power together.
How do I do
Um,
it?
and that Angela doesn't know what's going on, and so then it cuts to Angela talking with Tucker because now they're BFFs and saying she's thinking her noms will be Cedric, Quinn, and Brooklyn, not knowing that she doesn't get noms at all.
Mm-hmm. Cedric, Quinn, and Brooklyn. So she's saying to Quinn's face, "I'm putting you up."
No, she was talking with Tucker, like,
Oh,
"This
okay,
is
okay.
my
Yes, yes,
thought
yes, yes, yes.
for, the HOH,"
Which
which Cedric
doesn't
Quinn.
make sense for like what she thought Quinn's power would be. Like, if he doesn't like my nominations, he can switch them. So
Yeah.
that was a weird, like, what is Angela just space cadetting on this one? Or like, I think what you truly have to think about is what would the worst possible be? Like, if they're going after Tucker, well, who's the worst collateral damage would be Angela. So Angela winning HOH is like, let's go, because she'll be safe no matter how it shakes down or what
Mhm.
negativity comes. So
Yeah.
that's good. Good,
Um,
good, good.
then we have the whole segment of Rubina and Tucker being close, and not kissing, um, and then Chemo eventually walks in on them and slowly backs away. They were just cuddling, but
They were just cuddling. Could
but
you
yeah,
imagine,
Rubina's
like,
smitten.
the editors are like, who is this person? She's still on the show. We
This
haven't
like, the only story arc for her right now is that she really likes Tucker and hates that she really likes Tucker because
dude,
of the whole showmance of it all that happened with Mackenzie and Matt.
she did not think she would do this, but here she is doing this.
Yeah, and they're both, like, together, but not together, but everyone knows they're together, but they want everybody to think that they're not.
Which I don't know. Let me check the spoilers on whatchamacallit. Because, like, okay, so Quinn actually is making nominations. So he does his one-on-ones, which I think is like an
It's the
egregious, like,
Pentagon one-on-ones. It's not even everyone one-on-ones, it's, like, Pentagon members one-on-one.
oh, is that what happened? Because I
Yeah,
think on actual that Friday he had a one-on-one with everyone as well.
they
So
only showed Pentagon then,
that's crazy.
and it was in the
Damn,
have not room.
not the have not room. Okay, what did you think of the deep fake whenever it was like, I'm Angela. I nominate Tucker, and Angela goes,
And then she's just
no,
like,
no, I didn't. It wasn't me.
"I would never do that." Yeah, um, it was
My
it was
second nominee is Mackenzie. No, I. What is going? This isn't real.
yeah, it was wild. I mean, I felt like it worked, but also at the same time, it was, like, so cheesy. I wish it was something I wish, like, nobody knew and we had, like, a genuine, like, reaction to what the
Right.
deepfake HOH was, but everyone knew it was Quinn, and this is all Quinn's noms.
Because what I truly don't understand, we're in the living room. The living room is veto ceremony. The nomination ceremony always happens in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And if you're like,
Why
well,
didn't
that
they get
that
put on the
Ainsley
memory
thing
wall?
had to be in there, put Ainsley on the memory wall thing,
Mhm.
and like have Angela go, my first nomination is, and she does the key, and
And
then
it
it's Tucker's
goes
face,
yeah, yeah.
and it goes, shh, and then Angela's face pops up, and I did this earlier, actually. Uh, and because did it give reasons or not really, right?
No, no, because then Quinn chimed in with, like, "I did these things for these reasons," and then when it
Like,
got to, like, Cedric, he was just like, "And, Cedric's there," because Cedric volunteered to be a pawn to try and, like, defeat people on the block, AKA Tucker. But Quinn was gonna put up Rubina and Tucker and Mackenzie, but Cedric then volunteered because he wanted Rubina up there so she didn't take Tucker off of the block.
Jeez, I had to take that in of like Quinn, just don't say anything. Just
He
don't
was
say
talking to
anything.
the Visionaries, his main alliance.
But after the deep fake, and they go, that concludes the deep fake HOH. Like,
Yeah.
just walk away, Quinn. You don't have to explain it. Like, that's part of your power is like, whatever.
Mhm.
And like, if you want to know more, come talk to me or something. But to
Yeah.
like to be like, don't worry, I'm gonna make a point for you guys to know this is my HOH is kind of like a what game
So
are you
annoying.
playing, bro? Like it's funny how many people in the house. I don't want to say furniture because that's kind of rude, but like it's like almost doing nothing is
Mhm.
like putting you in the top 7 players in this game because everyone else is just like bazooka into foot. Like if you truly just were nice to people and said hi and you
Mhm.
smell nice and you're like trying your best in competitions on this season, you're gonna get at least 9th place before anything gets crazy because like Angela's gonna be screaming at people, Lisa putting glitter in food, Kenny's like, please vote me out day 3. Matt was matting, and like now I think we are getting to like maybe like are you gonna say Mackenzie's a good Big Brother player? Like I don't know. Not
Because
not
we don't know anything about her despite that she's on the bottom and, like, fighting to stay alive. We still don't know anything besides she's upset that Matt left and that
which is
she's a
crazy.
good competitor.
Because like if you get off the show and you're like, I wonder what I looked like I think it would be more behooving to Mackenzie or people that are trying to make Mackenzie seem more sympathetic of like, oh, here she is talking to someone you didn't know that she talked to, and they had a wonderful conversation. Or like,
Mhm.
she's like, how do I get into this power group? Like, she had a really good, strong conversation with Chelsea for 4 hours. But if that stuff's just not happening, you are kind of like, she Mackenzie's just young, and hopefully she gets there. Um, but I
There
think what's
No, go continue with
you go. I promise you, there's nothing important about Mackenzie.
the plot. Well, last episode, I think you talked about, like, if the producers want more pranks, they'll have more pranks, and then
I
what did we have?
swear to God.
What did
As
we
soon
have
as that
this
came up, I was
episode?
like, look at me go. Because it was either going to be, does anyone want to see my HOH room? But Angela probably already, like, they're like, this is your second
They've
one.
done
Who
that
cares?
already.
But like, Rubina hid in a wardrobe. And
Chelsea
we,
hid in the wardrobe. Rubina was just like, "Shh, get in there, get in
oh,
there."
oh
Oh,
no.
no. And then Brooklyn was scared half to death.
The Brooklyn got the goddess she's ever got. And you're like, what is who like legitimately what
So
is
weird.
this show? Is it a show to watch with your 8-year-old? I'm sure there's people out there watching with their 8-year-olds. Is it a show where like this is one of the best social competition games there are because somebody can ignore all the competitions and make it to final 3 without getting nominated? We've had multiple people do that where we say they're one of the best players in the game. Or
Mhm.
is it like do your laundry while you watch. You'll never have to know. Like, we will literally explain for you everything you're doing. And you're just like, I do want this show to not do like, it was crazy. Someone hid in a wardrobe, and you won't believe what happened.
And that was it,
They
like, it
jumped
was
out.
such a random scene, like, there was no, like, "Oh, Rubina, I'm trying to be mischievous," or "Chelsea, I'm trying to be mischievous." Like, there was no, like, setup for it, it was just, like, a random scene. It was kinda wholesome, which I liked, but, like, at the same time, there was no lead to it. It was just, like,
Right.
placed weirdly.
And I think one thing that maybe we get when we're on season 26, as you look at the chimney of a chimney that doesn't exist on our logo at all, but like I think on Survivor they once in a while have some of these things where it'll be like, I never thought the bugs would be this bad, or I never
Mhm.
thought I would be this hungry. And like I want one of those scenes every once in a while, or one of those confessionals of like Joseph literally doesn't have his eyes fully open during his confessionals. Like he's that bored about what he's saying of like whenever if you look at the not conversation confessional that Joseph has in the middle of the episode, he's literally
Mhm.
like and I don't think there's no like his eyes are fully open in all the other ones, and I'm like, oh my god, how bored are you? And like I think I want one conversation. Is it with Joseph? Is it with T Core? Is it with Chemo? Of like, do you like these people? Or like, I want somebody to say, I'm in a house with people I absolutely hate. And like, it's taking everything I can to come up with conversation topics with them. And like, I'm sure we'll all be friends outside of the house when we have like our own friends and family and alcohol to
Mhm.
bounce off of each other with. But in the middle of this stuff, this is so bad. Like I have
Yeah.
heard these people say the same stories. Oh, what's Tucker gonna do? Is he gonna go? I'm gonna win this game. Like I
Yeah.
want somebody to be like just
Like
completely call out how ridiculous this shit is sometimes.
or like, one person's like, "All right, yeah, Quinn does this, that's annoying, cut to footage." Like, Rubina
Right.
does this, drives me up a wall, cut to footage. Like, something where it's like,
If
we
this
know
girl
that these
burps in
people are
my face
human.
one more time, yeah.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, this person repeats the story so many stories and then cut to all the stories being repeated. So it I feel like they could, yeah, liven things up a bit where it's
And
like makes them feel more human.
and I do think they do confessionals in the middle of the night, like till like 1 in the morning probably. And it's like you might, as a producer, you might want to tell Joseph, "Hey, let's do that again. Open your eyes." Oh my goodness.
Um,
Um.
that's pretty much the episode. Do you have any hot gossip, from the feeds?
Okay, so if you're not watching feeds, this is where you should jump off because I'm gonna
Just in
spoil it.
case we lose Leslie, shout out to Leslie.
Oh, thank you, Leslie, including Phil. Phil's never cared about Big Brother in 1 second. Um. So this is where you should stop watching. This is your second warning. So the person who wins veto this week is I already texted to you, Tucker, which is
Yeah.
crazy. Love, like, let's go. So
Mhm.
Quinn's HOH that he's gonna steal is not gonna get Tucker or Angela. And so now this is where we could turn the game, and this is very exciting. Of this is why we watch feeds, so we can talk about Big Brother in a more overall game sense instead of just what did they show us on the episode, which I think is probably like I don't know if you'll ever be a feed watcher, but I watch like the highlights and the things
Mhm.
that are clips. Thank God for the people that either do this for a living or have way less stuff to do during the week, during the summer anyway. But Tucker wins, and it was kind of like, let's go. He's gonna be doing this stuff, and like if you look at who Quinn renominated, it is Rubina. So Rubina is now in danger instead of anybody else. So the possibilities are Cedric and Mackenzie, Mackenzie and Rubina, or Quinn and or Cedric and Rubina. And it's one of those things where like this is some dicey stuff. Like if one of those girls wins the thing against Cedric and like somebody gets like what sucks is you don't have a day to like really hammer it into people if Cedric needs to go. But maybe that's what they would do over the next 3 days. But then if Cedric wins, you can say like Blake was trying to get Cedric out the last 3 days, and you're like, oh crap,
Mhm.
not doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if Cedric is on the block with someone, the other person is going. So, like, if Cedric is on the block with Mackenzie, Mackenzie's going. If Cedric's on the block with Rubina, Rubina's going.
But I think if you're clearly not in a hardcore alliance with Cedric, why are you voting Rubina out after over him?
True.
Rubina has no like Rubina is a non-threat. Cedric already has an HOH. Oh yes, well Cedric didn't put me up last time. Or like Tucker has like
What sucks
maybe
is Quinn can still vote and
right,
Angela can't.
true, which is bullshit. But welcome to Big Brother. Expect the unexpected or we're gonna lie straight to your face. And like, what sucks is, does Angela get to play for HOH next week, or is it Tucker or is it Quinn? Like, but they have 3 days to figure it out. Of, are we gonna save Rubina, and do we get, like, if Mackenzie gets off the block, can she be a vote to vote out Cedric? Like,
Right.
Lee, like, I don't even know how
If
many
we
votes
get
we need.
Mackenzie, Leah, Tucker,
Tucker, T-Core,
T-Core
Chemo,
is no, T-Core and Chemo are gonna do what Quinn wants. They're in the Visionaries.
but they like Rubina more than they like Cedric by a whole lot. This was what Quinn is maybe screwing up. This is what is probably going to be a major topic on Wednesday. Of like,
Joseph, maybe they could
oh
get to
my
keep.
god, like, imagine knowing what Joseph's going to do. Of like, besides
Um,
go like this.
do you think Leah should have been a renom instead of Rubina?
I mean, I think Quinn, that makes more sense logically, but that's the person he enjoys flirting with or talking to, and that's
Mm,
part of the social game just as much. Of like, I'm not going to say they're on a showmance. I'm not going to say there's a chance to have a showmance, but there is the layer of like, I really enjoy, like, all my conversations with Leah are so fun, and like, whatever,
mhm.
like, why, like, yes, she's maybe not in all my alliances. I'm aligned with the whole house, but like, also imagine Quinn like not being in alliance with the whole house or whatever. But I, it is a thing of, are we just literally going to, Tucker's going after Quinn, Quinn's going after Tucker for the whole year, whole season, I guess is the right word, or is it going to like resolve very quickly? Of like, Tucker wins and puts up Quinn, and Quinn goes, because I think
Mhm.
Quinn is playing this week so badly in the grand scheme of things, where if he ends up on the block on one of these, I know he just stayed 10-1 and kind of bragged about it in America's face, but he's not, like, T-Core and Chemo did have a layer of like, why is Rubina going up? It does not feel like we are really figuring this out.
Mhm. Any
That's
other
Big Brother. Yeah, that's
any
Big
other
Brother.
feed stuff?
No, just more of like, oh, they're flirting. Are they gonna kiss? Or if they realize like we only have 2 days, but like, why vote out Rubina? Like,
Mhm.
oh, she's so close with Tucker, she's gonna whatever. It's like, not that you're like, I could beat Rubina in every competition, but like, do you think Rubina has the killer instinct to win a competition and shove it in your face? Like, I
Yeah, right.
based on hanging out with her a month, you should know like, Rubina is not a threat to me.
Mhm.
I will lose to Cedric in the in-game competitions. Yes, it's only final 12 at that point, or final 13, but like, if you're not aligned with Cedric hardcore and he's there against Rubina and you vote out Rubina, you will lose. You will lose the game.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I
people
think
lose Big Brother every day, so.
Cedric has that, like, more of a killer instinct as of
True.
right now, or what we're being shown.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Plus what I can infer, you know. By the way, there's a huge earthquake today. It felt like I was gonna die. So
whoa.
I wonder if they felt that, and because it was Pasadena epicenter, which is closer to me than the Big Brother house. But it was like, I bolted out the door to the driveway. It was very scary.
Oof. Well,
Oof.
glad you're alive and well.
Uh,
Alrighty. Well, that is this episode. We'll hit you back with another recap right after the live eviction on Thursday. So stay tuned for that and see you then.